Our mortals. This video is going to be a little more personal than others and also very nostalgic. In this video I'll mention music, but mostly it will be about something else. In general, my channel will have some small changes. The music reviews will not go anywhere, but I will expand the content on my channel. Would be nice if you respond to these kinds of videos by pressing like, leaving a comment and subscribing to my channel, so the YouTube algorithms would see that people are interested not only in my music reviews. You'll help a lot by doing it. Thank you. In this video, you'll hear about a place that has special meaning to me. I have some cool memories with it. I was there with my former friends many times and it was a lot of fun. Some awesome, sad and even creepy stuff happened to me there. That place was full of mysteries and had a cult status amongst many teenagers who regularly visited it. That place was the abandoned nightclub, which was called Batman. I need to start from the very beginning. Batman was the nightclub that was founded in 1994 in Pattaya, Thailand. It was the biggest nightclub in the city back in those days. Unfortunately, it was open only for 18 months because of many complaints about the drug dealership and violence. There were false rumors that it was closed because there was fire that killed a lot of people. Indeed, the building was set on fire, but a few months after it was closed. Some people claim it was sabotage from the club owners. Others say that police did it to prevent it from opening again. No one knows the real reason why the fire happened. Recently, the concrete building of the former nightclub is used by the graffiti artists and homeless people. In 2018 and 2019, there were huge graffiti contests. Officially, it belongs to one of the local banks. It was a real challenge to take it from the former owners. The bank still doesn't do anything with the building and is okay about the organization of the graffiti contests in its area. homeless people, graffiti artists, and the local teenagers are mere visitors of Batman. For many years, the real inhabitants of this place were rodents, insects, birds on the upper levels, and bats on the lower levels. Since the abandonment, the name Batman became justified. I visited this place a few times during the day and the night times. In the daytime, the sunlight could hardly reach the ground floor and the first floor. This is why it became the perfect place for bats. Their nests are located on the ground floor, where they wait for the night. When the night comes, the building is literally and completely occupied by the hordes of bats. Since my childhood, I always had a small phobia of bats, because I found them repulsing and uncanny. I visited the building a few times when it was dark, and it was filled entirely with their loud and squeaking screams. They were flying in groups on every floor and were nesting in the darkest corners of the nightclub. Once I tried to record their voices on my phone to use it in music, but unfortunately I failed. Bats are communicating to each other through the ultrasound, so my phone was not advanced enough to capture it. During one of my daytime visits, I tried to enter the club through the ground floor. I directed my flashlight at the entrance and suddenly a bat flew over my shoulder. Fortunately, it didn't try to attack me and I wasn't hurt. Despite that, it flew so low that it accidentally touched my cheek with its wing. It was absolutely disgusting, so I decided to use another entrance. That moment happened during one of my last visits of Batman in 2017. Now let's go back in 2016, when I found out about Batman from one of my former friends. The guy with whom I often visited Batman, to avoid real names, let's call him Jimbo. Jimbo enjoyed discovering different abandoned buildings, and once he found out that there was a former nightclub, which was called Batman. He told me that it would be cool to find, so we went on a journey and eventually found it. It wasn't hard at all, because it was located not far away from his house. When we saw it, the size of the building really amazed us. It looked like an ancient dungeon and had a mysterious aura that we couldn't explain. Batman had 3 entrances: the main entrance, the ground floor entrance, and the lounge entrance. Each one was unique in its own way. The main entrance was the safest and the most illuminated one. The ground floor, as I told before, was the darkest and the dirtiest one. The lounge entrance was different from the other two because it didn't lead inside the nightclub, it led into the former lounge area. It was a wide room on the first floor where we could walk only on the edges because there was a deep hole in the middle that was filled with trash and poisonous water. I remember when we were there, I asked Jimbo how much I should pay to him to make him jump right into the water. Later we entered the building itself. And one of the most interesting things that I saw were lots of beautiful graffiti. Back then, I was a graffiti artist, so it was like going to an art exhibition. There were lots of sprays and caps on each floor that made me realize the significance of the place for the local graffiti subculture. After that first visit, we were so impressed that we decided to come there regularly. Once I even left my graffiti tag on the roof and took picture of it. One of the most interesting visits was when we worked on my first ever music video. It was the spring of 2017, and back then I was a rap artist. I recorded a song that took me a lot of time and efforts to make. It was my best work in that period, so I decided to make a music video. Jimbo and I wanted to make a creepy and edgy music video, so we went to Batman when it was dark. Most of those shots were me standing or sitting somewhere and rapping, though we made some shots that were more creative. One of those shots was me standing with a surgical mask on and holding the plastic bag with a piece of raw meat and a fake blood. When we've done, we left the plastic bag with the meat on the roof, where it was rotting a few days until someone took it. We also made another shot that was improvised in the process. On one of the floors, we found a small pile of plastic dolls lying in the corner. It looked pretty spooky. In that scene, I put another mask on that was white and fully covered my face. I took one of the dolls. I held it in front of the camera and burned its face with my lighter. On the next day I tried to edit it, but the footage seemed lame. I wasn't satisfied with the result, so the video was never done. I told about it to Jimbo, he got very upset about it. There was also another case related to music in 2017. Back then, I worked on my former side project Gribishok. It was an industrial noise EBM music. The project is already closed and I don't work on it anymore. Back then, I made the project's first single, Die Vomit Die, and a few DIY physical copies of the single on CDs. One of the CDs I left in Batman and I was very pissed off when a few days later I saw it lying broken on the floor. I also wanted to make a music video for the Die Vomit Die single. I wanted to make it in Batman with Jimbo, but when we came there, we were so exhausted that we didn't even start filming and returned home. One of the sad moments in Batman was in the late spring of 2017, when I tried to write graffiti there. One of the sad moments in Batman was in the late spring of 2017, when I tried to write graffiti there. It was already the late evening and the process didn't go well. It was a failed attempt because I already wasn't so enthusiastic in being a graffiti artist. It was the last time when I tried to write graffiti. I became really angry. I couldn't make anything out of it. So I decided to quit it completely. I was so upset that I even took a spray paint and ruined someone else's graffiti. I was never proud of it. Even then, I realized how stupid it was. There was also another incident in 2017 that I felt guilty about for a long time. I don't feel guilty about it now, but at the same time I'm not proud of it. Jimbo and I were in Batman together with his friend. Let's call him Marcus Aurelius. So me, Jimbo and Marcus Aurelius decided to start a fire in Batman. We split up to find some materials that could burn. Suddenly Marcus Aurelius and I found a room that was shelter for one of the local homeless people. He wasn't there, but his pants and pillow were, so Marcus and I took it and used it for the fire. At that moment it seemed okay for us, but a few weeks later I realized that it was not cool. I felt shame for what I've done because we burned the last things that homeless guy had. I told about it to Jimbo. He understood me and told that Marcus Aurelius was in another abandoned building where he found some homeless guy's clothes and threw them out the window. Marcus is an asshole. Don't be like Marcus. Better be like an actual Marcus Aurelius. He was good. After feeling guilty of my deed, I decided to go there already in early 2018 and redeem myself by bringing some food and water to that homeless guy. As I arrived, he was not present, but I understood that he still lived there after seeing his stuff in the exact same room. I put food and water there and hid it under his stuff, so no one else could find it. I left Batman and my sense of shame was gone. I felt better. Fortunately, I realized that I did wrong and redeemed myself. The last time when I paid Batman a visit was on February 28th of 2024. I don't live in Thailand since January of 2022. Recently I'm living in Europe, so I decided to take a vacation in Thailand for a month. Out of nostalgia, I visited Batman once again and it felt strange. That place was creepy and serene at the same time. I filmed the entire process on my camera and you're watching the footage now. I also made a field recording of the Batman nightclub and I made the soundscape out of it. The soundscape is from my post-apocalyptic side project Dust. It is called This Is Me, Mommy and Daddy. It's available on my Bandcamp page just for €1. You can buy it to support my channel. I'll be appreciated. The link is in the description below. The abandoned Batman nightclub was a magical place, and every visit was like an adventure. From those visits, I've got an unusual experience with some interesting memories, and I have no regrets. After leaving the building, I was relieved. I don't want to visit Batman anymore, and better to leave that place in the past. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, press like, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel to help it grow. Don't forget to press the bell of Satan to don't miss the new videos. You can also buy my music on Bandcamp to support my channel. All links will be in the description below. Farewell, stay out of hell.